Oh. Nice. We're going to start up in a little bit. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. We're working on this project for you guys for a little bit. It's not too crazy. It is going over a lot of the basics as we build up from what I was saying from previous streams. We did an ERC20 token, coded, and then tested in 2 separate streams. So go ahead and check those out on the past broadcast or on the YouTube. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Rumble, and live on Twitch as well. So I appreciate you guys coming in. It's past broadcast or live in the chat. If you guys have any questions, definitely ask them now or ask them in the comments. I'm just going over a little bit of my Atlas Earth. So if you guys also are interested in some residual income, passive income, go ahead and look at Atlas Earth and a lot of videos and streams I've done already. I've done breakdowns, I've done code reviews, I've done strategies and techniques, everything you guys wanted to know in general about Atlas Earth and Joe Token. Go ahead and check those out as well. And lastly, if I can get the Discord, check out the Discord, the CYB community. We do gaming, we do tutorials, we do different tournaments, whatever and whenever you guys want, or you want a centralized area to hit up your friend on Xbox, Nintendo, PC. You got all the voice chats right here, so go ahead and get in those voice chats and join the Discord. It's all down in the description on YouTube, on Rumble, or Twitch. All the links are the same. So with this one, if I have all the titles the same, all the titles should be the same. Okay, and then let me refresh Twitch. All right, so this is how to code getters and setters. This is the basic way of understanding encapsulation, which is a part of the 4 pillars of object programming, which is encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. Those 4 pillars. And you need to understand this because if you don't know how to do getters and setters, it's going to be real hard for you in object-oriented programming because you need a lot of object-oriented programming techniques in Java. It's non-traditional in JavaScript, but you can still do OOP. That's the acronym for it. You can do it in C++, and you can do it in Python, if I remember correctly. But I mainly learned it in Java throughout my career, and then also implemented it in here in Solidity. So let me see here. So I don't have any articles for you guys. It's just some simple stuff. It's not too crazy. Just understanding encapsulation and how to do it. So here's the Discord. Let's go back to what you'll be doing in this tutorial. So encapsulation is basically having your getters and setters set properly, and the main basis of it is to have private globals. So you have your private globals here. So your assigned integer, your unsigned integer, and your name, which is a string. These are both the integer, the unsigned integer, the uint, and then the string. We can also do a boolean. I have the integer right here, the get integer and the set integer. You can go over that in the code. Well, this is basically the format of it. This is how you'll do it in Java. This is how you'll do it in Solidity. And not exactly the same in JavaScript, but this is how you will do it in Java in Solidity. You will just set up your signatures right here. These are basically the names of your functions, and then your parameters, your arguments, wherever how you want to use them, and then you have your logic here. So you're just setting. There's nothing to return here in your setter along here, and you have your getter. So let me go ahead and take my sexy ass off the screen because I want you guys to be fully aware. I know a lot of people can't pay attention really well. So not saying you, but I'm saying in general, the attention spans are really low. So in terms of incompetence, it turns to laziness, it turns to unshoreism, it turns to stupidity, whatever, how you want to say the same thing in different definitions and different words. But I want you guys to fully concentrate on what is going on here. So let's break down how I came about this project, and that is the straight on gist of it. So I just made a new folder. It's just a new folder, you call whatever you want. Right here is all contracts and tests. You can put it anywhere you want. You just have Node on your system and npm. So npm is Node Package Manager, and Node is a backend JavaScript engine, mainly powered by V8. So once you have that, and once you have your folder, you want to be able to do npm init. Let me show you the, let's say, the tree of commands I did. So you want to do npm init. I was just checking a few other things. All right. So I was doing Python as well. You want to do npm init. You want to do your node -s version if it's global. Then once you have everything, once you know you have your npm init, you want to do npm install -s save -dev hardhat. And once you have that, you're able to download your hardhat. But this is after you do your npm init, right? If I didn't say that too clearly. Once you installed your hardhat, you do npm, do your npx hardhat init, and your npx hardhat init is to make a new hardhat project, and then that goes through the whole process of what you can create with hardhat. So if you want a visual basis, go back to the past broadcast for that. So it makes you this. I chose the JavaScript project, and then I changed out a lot of this stuff just to show that what you get is a lock. You get a lock contract, a locked ignition modules, and a file here, and then your locked file over here. So I renamed them. I changed everything just to speed up the process. All the little configuring step by step, a visual basis. Like I said, go back to the past broadcast and look at those. So I renamed it to value types, and then the value types contract. Remember, it goes by the contract name, not the name of the file. And then using this name, just copy it to show you some best practices. We go to your test file, and your test file has to have the same name here in the deploy contract. The deploy contract is to look at any of your contracts you have in your contracts folder. I haven't messed with the contract name or that. I just kept it as contracts, and it looks at any of the contracts that aligns with the contract name, now aligns with value types, and then makes that contract within memory here. So we have value types here, and I just constantly log it just to look at it. You guys can see the terminal. It shows the contract, base contract, and then I just return it in a array. It comes back. Well, so once you create your whole project and you have this test file, you're using it within an object, I change it to an array just so I can do this. Now, it depends on how you're going about your tests and how you want to use your tests. So I just want to use it as a method scope area where I'm using a let of value types and a let of owner, two method scope variables, and then I now want to load my fixture. So the fixture is basically the before each. Just remember what the before each is. I went over that within the past broadcast. Go back to that one. It's taking the same idea, but it's also having a lot of other capabilities too. I can do a separate video if there is demand for that. And the value types in the owner becomes this, and now we're able to use it within or across other tests here. So that's the whole breakdown in the architecture, what we made here. So we get our fixture data. That is what we named it, and all the names and all the descriptions and all that stuff detailed within the past broadcast. And then we just have number. We check what the number is. We get the number what it is in the contract. We can then set it to another number, and then also look back at it here, and then we do our check, the expect. So the expect is basically used from Chai, and then Chai is the testing ways that you will use it for, and then it'll equal to this. All right, so now let's go ahead and make one for unsigned. So nice, quick, and easy. Want me to type it? Want to see me type? Go back to the past broadcast and all that. So let's name this unsigned. Unsigned. In the terms of typing every single thing and explaining it in deeper details in the past broadcast. So let me go ahead and change these. And this is common practice based on wherever how you want to code and different modules and pieces. You want to be able to understand a entire block of code or entire page and reuse that in another page. So when you're making your systems along with different algorithms in that system or systems and subsystems and processes, you want the ability of understanding code super fast because everything has to be super fast because people's attention spans are bad. That's why I mentioned attention spans if you were paying attention. So that's a bar. But go ahead and make this uint and we'll name it. We'll do the fancy double line or multi-line to say unsigned, right? And then my unsigned looks kind of weird. What's going on here? Oh, we have to do this. So we have to make sure it returns as a unsigned integer. So using this, we'll go ahead and just copy and paste this inside. So in our description block, we're doing a number types and we're doing a signed integer and we're doing a unsigned integer like this. And then we're using the same cases here, so we don't have to repeat lines. So minimizing the amount of lines as possible is key to effective coding in computer science. So let's make this, let's say 20 now. And then now we want to make sure that we have the right function. So we go back and copy to these. Go ahead and copy and paste. And each and every time we're coding a new broadcast come, we're getting faster and faster to say. So the least amount of baby explaining to crazy amounts of algorithms and going over Fibonacci recursive, it's gonna be less explaining in the future. So all that explaining is accumulative throughout all of the streams. So this should be good. So get unsigned, set unsigned, get unsigned again, and then the get unsigned. We redo it here, the get unsigned and get unsigned just for the simplicity, but we can now do this. We can make it into a variable. And in JavaScript, it doesn't matter what kind of variable you're doing until you're doing TypeScript or Java, because now you have to make sure the type is the same of what the value is going to be. So you can just do a const, a let, a var of any name you want. Let's call this, and then to make it easier, let's just name it the same thing. Let's do unsigned. And now we're going to equal this getting unsigned again, right? And one thing I clearly didn't say before, you want to, because this is all memory. All these lines are memory. So if you need to re-get something that's set already, you want to re-get it again, basically. So it's self-explanatory. It's so simple to say the same thing twice. So here, you're getting the previous number of what it is. So that number is going to be, let's say, number 2. With number 2 here, this unsigned variable. This number 2 is now here at line 44. Now on line 45, we're changing it to 20. And then on 46, you want to re-get that number again because you have this in memory. So it's not going to be changed from a preceding line. It just doesn't make any sense. So now I have to re-get what was changed. And now you have this 20 here at line 46 to not be set and to equal the number you put in. Go ahead and run this. And this is how you accumulate tests, and all the tests are so long. You see all the greens. You can test for failure, you can test for success, whatever. We're just testing for success for now. You can get real detailed in it, whatever how you want to do it. We kept some of the boilerplate explanation here. So let me go ahead and run it first. We're using a newer hard hat, so we don't have to use a node. It's not that type of test to say, so we're not testing against a node. You would still use a node regardless, so we're just not testing against a node basically. For the simple-minded people, for a straightforward explanation. Let's go ahead and run it. And we pass, right? So we see the 20 here. This is coming from line 43. So instantaneously, you have to know exactly which line, even if you don't see it. You have to know your code like a robot. Just to level up and all that stuff. At line 43, because it shows like you know when and where the code is executing. That's all that is. The line 43, and then now we have a line 44, which is a 2n. The n is big number to say big int, and that is the exponential measurement in JavaScript. To use n or to use the class constructor big int, it is to measure larger numbers all the way to the maximal that it can measure, which is 3 quadrillion something, and then a negative 3 quadrillion. So it's in a domain of measurement. So like I said, we have to set it and then re-get it and then see if it's the same, and then it is. It passes, right? It passes our test. So, and I think before in the previous, I might have had the gas reporter. The gas reporter shows a grid here, but I'm not showing that grid because I don't have the gas reporter installed. And the gas reporter is npm package, and it will be along here in your package.json. So let's do the string, and let's do one more. Let's do the boolean. So we'll make those. It'll be the same process with the sign since I already have it here. Let's X this out a little faster. So we have the string here. The string could be of anything, and these are all privates. And then now, yeah, also this on line 12 of the contract, you don't really need a constructor for this type of testing. The string could be of anything. You don't have, let's see, we don't have to really initialize it. Initializing is giving it an initial value. You don't have to initialize it right now. We can go ahead and just do our magical Alt Shift down on VS Code, and we're able now to have the same exact line. So setting a string, let's call this. We'll do lines here. Could be of the same length. Where luck is in the same length. Address. Let's do string. I meant to say string. Get string, set string. So remember, this is all the basics of encapsulation. Speed up. Can't keep up. Go back to the previous. Streams. Do an underscore. I mentioned this before. The underscore, then the name of the same, and just good practice. It technically does not matter, but it should matter when you're doing an older version of Java. I haven't seen it in an older version of Solidity. I do an underscore. So just best practice, just to know the differences. Do a underscore name, and then we have this name. Then we want the string to be. So let's see what's going on here. Allocation must be a memory of call. Parameter, so not a given. Overview of string. Right. So actually, I think we do need. It's all live. It's all live right now. Allocation must be memory or call. Okay, I got you. Yeah. So memory is basically something. So from this, what I remember from memory and call data, memory is something that can change. You can change memory. Call data, you cannot change its solidity. So this has to be a memory. A data type. It's not a sub data type, but it's something else. The data type, the whatever this is, and then name. So, all right, and then we have a string type of string. Okay, in a memory string, because that is something that could change. That's what that is saying. You want to put call data here. It's kind of odd. You would put call data because it doesn't make any sense. We're referring to memory. We're referring to something that's in memory of this contract because this contract is storing information. So we're able to store the information, get the information, and sell the information. So if you guys are grasping it, right, we're leveling up of how everything is going. So let me go ahead and check the chats. No questions. All right, fantastic. So just remember that we have to use memory. Memory is something you can change, and call that is something you can't. So when in an advanced, I guess, stream, we'll have in the future when there's more demand, or we'll just keep it basic for now, or near future overall. When we're doing call data, we're slicing into call. I'm slicing into memory. If you try to slice into call data, you can't because that's something you can't change. But memory, you can change. You can change different pieces of memory. You can manipulate memory. You can do bit manipulation. There's so much more you can do within Solidity. And we didn't even talk about Yule or assembly yet. This is just straight assembly and just straight Solidity on 0.8.27. So now we have our get string, we have our set string. The on the spot, we had to solve something on the spot. There's a lot of things you got to do on the spot. We're in the limelight. A lot of things you got to do. Take responsibility. Now we done our number types. We're back in the JavaScript file. Let's go ahead and name something else. We're in an entire describe. We're going to describe here. And then you have a series of strings, let's say. So the reason why I came to that is I have a series of describes. I can describe a string collection here, and I have a series of strings or a series of strings here, because you're just having a sequence of things done within the series. So I'll call this string. You see where I'm getting this from is when you watch the previous podcast, the previous streams. So here, string collection, and then this is string series 1. Here's 1, and now we have this sequence, right? So here, we'll do a raw, we'll do a string, we'll do a changed memory. All right, because memory is something you can change. Change memory. Let's just call this just raw, just straight up the string, changing string, changing. Let's say changing string, and now we have this change string and a string here. Now let's change up, or just to do it straight up and not have so many variables. We just want to know and make sure we're doing the right thing. So we'll just do the same exact lining. So we'll do console log. We can do an info, which is an alias of console log. Shout out to the knowledge. We're going to wait, because any logic you want to do, you just want to do inside of these informational communications to your node. We want to wait, and then we have value of the same thing, right? Of the same fixture. So we just do, can I get this somehow? And not from here, right? From up top. And then the name of it, just to be on point with it, the string. So I get the string here. We now have this string. We're now waiting for something to happen, right? What's going on? Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm in this describe. So we're gonna wrap this around. So a quick fix is to wrap it around, to go backwards of what you're doing, and to call this a it, and then have this as a async, and then have it as yep, we're going backwards. So we gotta do this. I'll just do it myself because it's gonna be weird. And then we'll just do a streamlining of that in a lining here because that's where it actually comes from. No. All right, so I'll just do the other way. Let's go forward. Let's say it's. I think going backwards in the work right there. Live function, and then now say seriously. All right, so sequence, and then now spaces don't matter. Long here myself. Do that outside by accident. I didn't mean to do that. And then I could take this logic, put it here, and then put this inside. I'm doing that right. So we're just going backwards here. Way. Okay, so let me, all right, whatever. Let me just go do it like this. Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and do like that just to close off. We have this here, that, and then that. So I'm gonna take what I have here. I'm gonna take what I have here. And I'm going to duplicate this, put it to it. Because I was trying to do something on the fly, but I kind of messed it up. All right. You don't need that. Okay. So go back one that there, and then we can just duplicate this. Take this out because I kind of messed that up. All right, so there's one here. Live, all live, baby. We live, baby. We live, baby. String collection, the string series, and then this string over here. Just one. All right. Because we have that nested described, and I was trying to go backwards, so I ain't fully get what I was doing. All right. All right. So make sure you guys are understanding everything. Any questions you may have. Don't be a pelican. Don't be a fool. Say dumb shit in the chat in the past broadcast. So with this series and this test, we can do multiple of these describes. We have a describe out here of a different series. This describe out here of a different series. We now want to change the memory. And we check it through here. And then we want to now doing the weights. All right. Pretty sure because yeah, so that wasn't popping up. So we're gonna need this. That's what I was looking for. Kind of messed me up. So a let's say overlapping or a method scope can't really be used outside and explained that before in a past broadcast. So that's why I copy this over because we want a new fixture. We're doing a new set of things. We now have this fixture. We're now doing a set. So let's go back to our string set. and be able to do this, and then do string. Then we'll do a get string of this. Get string. Let's see what the string is. Let's see what changed in the contract. We're able to look at the contract data, change it, and look back at it at the same time. Do an inspect. You don't really do an inspect outside. And then values, and then get this, right? So this is what that is. This should be. Do B or equal, doesn't matter. Should be equal. Like all the other ones are just aliases to string. That is what that is set to. Okay. And then this is series number 2. Series number 2. Do it like this. On the fly, test 2. Test, okay. So test 1 of 1. Test 1 of 2, test 1 of 1. That's how each and every one should be layered. So this is high advanced testing within Mocha/Chai. All right, let's run this. So we're going to comment this out. Yeah. We shouldn't have any errors. Some extra checking too, because I want to make sure there's no errors or anything. Since we're redoing something, you want to be more descriptive. So in put in caps, so people bad eyes can see. Right. So and then yeah. So unsigned. Unsigned here, signed. Look how big this is getting, you know? So if I have an error, let me know. Let's just CD. All right, we should be good, and we're all good. So with the strings, so that's the strings. We'll do the booleans, and then we're done. We have another set. So say if you follow this order, right? Second test, you can do interpolation. So you can do a injecting string of, let's say, Yenny. And now injected string interpolation, you want in JavaScript backticks and then a $sign opening and closing curly brace, and then the injecting string change Yenny memory, and then you can put some other string around it. So you do like this, say Yenny's. Now what we have here, now this turned into the constructor one, right? By syntax. I think it'll go bad. Now we can name this the same. For description of description. Get the same thing. Actually, we can lap our interpolations and say, you can even put in straight text here because it's just taking the text and saying what it is. So you can do a space, right? And then you can do another, stuff like that, but it's not needed. Unless you're doing your regular expressions. So you can do T, you can do N, you can do backslash, because these are backslashes, I'm pretty sure, or like forward slashes. Or yeah, no, these are forward slashes. SS. plus, something like that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll play with it, but we're getting real detailed in here. For the same injected string here on 73, and then on 75, we check everything from the 74 of get the string. Let's go ahead and see what's going on there. I'm gonna explain this line when it comes through. So what we did at line 71, right after in the first console log, we had some spaces. So the spaces would then be after this. And now we have a tab, we have a new line, and then we have an S plus. So S plus doesn't really do anything, but then actually, it looks like we have a space here, and then we have the chain. Oh no, that's the space log issue. Never mind. The log will give you a space, you do a comma, then some other number, value, boolean, whatever, string. Change Jenny's memory. Now we go to change memory here online. So then this is after, and then we get what the change memory is. We also see that this is the change memory, so we can console log that one more time, which is just doing this. I'm not gonna call it again. I'm just doing it a little quicker. Copy and pasting that just a little quicker. Boom. So rerunning again. We have 6 passing tests. Let's see, we still have 6 passing tests. Boom. This is what the change data is. So you can use string interpolation and add-ons to the string interpolation where spaces are not, to then change data on a smart contract to then look back at it again. So that's how you do those series. We can knock out this, which we're going to do boolean and then end. So if you guys get the whole idea and the picture, let me know in the comments, let me know in the chat. We're going to do boolean and then we are done. Boolean would then be like this, and we'll do it from the very beginning. So boolean would then be bool like this, and then we'll do a private since we want to practice the full capabilities of encapsulation. Is to keep your global variables hidden away from other access. Private, and then once you do a private, it is subscribed. Let's do is subscribed. That's a good way to end. And always have your semicolon right after, telling the program that you are done. Is subscribed with that. You can have spaces if you want. It's not a big deal. So let's go in detail on why this is happening. This is polymorphism. So the reason why that is complaining about the function with the same name and parameter types are defined twice is because if you were to do a polymorphistic ideal, you can do whatever you want here, whatever you're trying to do. Let's do 104 and then some name of it, right? Some name of it. It now has another piece of logic that it will run under the same name. So that's why you will want to do that in polymorphism if you want to keep the same name for reusability sakes and the ability to expand upon logic. You can reuse this get string inside of this get string and be able to expand upon what you have. And then you can use that for a server, and then your front end is speaking to your server. So go ahead and put my sexy face back on the screen because I feel like it. I should be able to see. So let's go ahead and take that away. That's not the names. What am I doing? The names. So to now is the same length. We just go all the way over. We want to do, let's just call it Boolean, right? We want the same name. So get Boolean, set Boolean. And now with Boolean, I'm pretty sure you don't need to have the memory. Yeah, it's even complaining like, yo, you don't need the memory. Yeah, it can only be specified for an array, strut, or mapping types, but memory was given. So we can go on that in another string because I'm going to end this one. And there's not much of questions live. Maybe questions later. Go ahead and copy this over. Is you subscribed? So let's go ahead and just do this. You have an error here. It can't be of a string. So we have something like that there. You do the same name. Carries over. Doesn't exist. We have this here. Okay. So it's all the same thing. We've done int, assigned integer. We've done uint, unsigned integer. We've done string, which needs memory, and then boolean, which is a true or false, 0 or 1. 0 is true, 1 is false in programming. So I'm following this type of architecture, this type of way. Want each and every detail what these lines do, go ahead and check out the past broadcasts. So is subscribed? Are you subscribed? We have these get boolean and set boolean. Let's go to the front and do the same ideal. So we'll just carry it over as one. Boolean types. I showed you a regular type of format of doing what describe and many tests and multiple describes and many tests within there. You can have many its, and it is the testing mechanism. Describe is the explanation mechanism of it. Do a straight up raw one. Let's do changing. Yeah, let's do changing. Just changing the boolean. Changing boolean. When you're changing these booleans, you don't have to use function name. You can use the inline, the arrow function. So just type less. So in there and in this, let's say you're not subscribed and you want to subscribe. So we can do something on the front end to where we're just testing the functionality here straight up in our test file where the is subscribed. All right, so subscribe. All right. My big fingers. All right. Subscribe and we'll make that true. It's not a capital T, capital F. It's not Python. It's just a lowercase. It's JavaScript. It's not Java. Here, so now we have this. We then do the same ideals, right? So we go ahead and show that. Let's do a console log. We'll do console information. Console information. We then have a I am subscribed. Let's get fancy. I am subscribed. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe right now. And subscribe. Let's do and in a way, let's do a console log around this. Like I said, console log, console info, they're interchangeable. Info is just alias to console log. And then we're doing an await values, right? So we need values. Unless we don't need values. This one is inside. We're inside of here. Yeah. So we're actually doing something outside of this. So let's actually do it and then put this back out. So now we need subscribes. I mean, we have this here. Just for best practices. We now have an it, with the Boolean. So let's do that. We have that for the Booleans, that for the strings, string collection and number types. So as long as you're understanding your code and your coworkers, your cohorts, whatever, how you want to say it, or understanding your tests, then you can go by those ways. Owner, use owner here. What do I owner? Wondering why owner. Never read. Check here, string. It's gonna be speculative in your coding. All right, so spit it. Spit it. The name is Boolean. When you have to get Boolean, you then want to do a set. So we won't name it because it won't return anything anyway. We're doing a wait caps. Yep. Boolean. And it's Boolean. We want to say we're subscribed now. So it's bionic. We showed that we can initialize. We don't have to have something initialized. And let's say we are false. Say we are false, right? It is also a lowercase f, a lowercase t for that in Solidity. Want to set it? We're checking what the Boolean is. Let's do a did you subscribe to the channel? So all you watching this should be subscribed. And value types, get Boolean. My fingers. Got an itchy trigger finger. So people don't want to subscribe. So you should go ahead and subscribe. So I got that itchy trigger finger coming for you. All right. So it's the same thing. Let's not repeat ourselves since we're not BBIzing it too much now. B is to, and then to equal. I just showed equals this entire time as we end out. You can do many other types of tests. You can test for failure, test for success that I said from before if you're paying attention. So if you guys are interested and we see a lot of likes, you see a lot of comments, go ahead and let me know if you want me to go in depth on that particular piece of information. So as we test this last part, you see that we are changing a Boolean. We're changing something of a 0, which is true, changing something of a 1, which is false. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know. You guys can use your ability to type into the chat and all that. So in this describe, we have our load fixture. And remember, think of load fixture as a before each. Let's go ahead and test. We should be good. Let's go ahead and test this, and then we are done. Should be 8 tests passing. So now you let me know. Let me know that I am yes of that, and then we see we didn't console log it. Console log it. I just want to see my console logs, but we know that this is true, and we see that we get the bullying again, so we know that it is of true, but you just want to see it for your human tendencies. Do it like that, we should be good. All right, so if you guys have any questions, let me know in the Discord, in the past broadcasts, whatever. Let me know if you have any questions at all. We can definitely go over it now for a minute. If not, I'm going to close out. And if any questions later, if you catch this on the past broadcasts, ask me in the Discord. That'll be the best place. And then the comments, and then so on and so forth. But the Discord is the go-to. We also do a lot of other things in the Discord as well. We do gaming, we do tournaments, hackathons, whatever. If you guys want to get crafty, you want to show your greatness, you want to show whatever you want, or if any other ideas or any implementations we do during the live streams during the past broadcasts, let me know. As we end out, I appreciate you guys watching all the way through, not skipping, not like, there's too many big words. Nah, it is needed to go over everything so you guys understand. We didn't go over every single little baby part because we did that before in the other past broadcasts. So with these start to speed up a little bit. These start to gain more traction, and it starts to get really in depth. If you guys are not understanding the big, giant, wordy words, right? Everyone wants to skip to, go back to the baby ones, okay?